What's up, guys? This is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we are back with another Michigan recruiting report. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 key recruits visiting Michigan this week. Before we do, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos. Also, subscribe to the Wolverine.com today. We have a special promo code just for our YouTube listeners and watchers. Use that code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at the Wolverine.com. Get exclusive recruiting information coming out of these big weekends, as well as basketball transfer portal information. A lot going on right now. Spring football and football portal coming up soon. You won't want to miss that. Use that promo code UM1, $1 for 2 months over at thewolverine.com. All right, guys, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about 5 key recruits visiting Michigan this week. A lot of midweek visitors. It's spring break for a lot of guys, so you're seeing some midweek visitors this week. Pretty good weekend as well. Maybe not as loaded as the last couple of weekends, but I think you have a good mix of midweek visitors, weekend visitors. So let's dive into it. As I'm recording this tonight, which is Tuesday night, Kavian Bryant, the nation's #1 ranked quarterback in 2027, is on campus right now out of Palestine Westwood in the great state of Texas. Bryant is a fantastic athlete, man. He probably has the highest ceiling out of any quarterback in the country in the 2027 class. Phenomenal athlete who also doubles as a Division I basketball recruit. He has several big offers on the basketball side. As a quarterback, he's extremely explosive. He's a dual threat. He can make a lot of plays with his legs. I had a chance to see him at the Under Armour Dallas camp this winter, and I think he's a guy who is still a little bit raw as a pure passer, but as an athlete, man, it's harder to find a more exciting prospect than Kavian Bryant. He's listed at 6'1.5", 180 pounds, so not super tall, but just, again, a really, really explosive athlete. Michigan offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey went down to Texas, saw him throw during the winter contact period. He's definitely high on the board. Obviously, the school's closer to home. The usual suspects down around Texas are very involved in his recruitment as well. But the fact that he just picked up an offer a few months ago and is now, on campus for a visit, I think shows that he has legitimate interest in the Wolverines. And Bryce Underwood wouldn't be a deterrent because there would be enough separation. Underwood would be a junior by the time Bryant would be a freshman. So I don't think that's a negative at all. So, curious to see what the returns are from that visit. All right, let's stick on the offensive side of the ball and move into our current class, the 2026 recruiting class. And we're going to talk about 4-star wide receiver Nayland Scott out of Georgia, who, by the way, did correct me and tell me it is Nayland, not Nolan, for those pronouncing it. Anyway, I really like Nayland Scott, man. Big wide receiver. He's listed at 6'3", 185 pounds. I think he's over 200 pounds right now. We've talked a lot about Travis Johnson, who's kind of a taller, longer, athletic wide receiver. There are different types of big bodies. Nayland is that thicker, physical bully on the outside. I had a chance to see him play in 7-on-7 a couple of times this offseason already. He's been really productive. I'm usually a sucker for big-bodied wide receivers, so I'm really high on Scott. I think he kind of fits what Michigan is looking for. And, right now, I would say Michigan is probably in that top 5, top 3. I think they'll have a chance to really move the needle when he makes his way to campus this weekend. I'll have more directly from Nayland before this trip over at thewolverine.com in the next day or two. All right, let's go ahead and move on and stick on the offensive side of the ball. And let's go into the trenches with offensive lineman Leo Delaney. Leo's a really interesting prospect. He started off being labeled as a tackle, has since been moved into the interior. I think he projects best as a guard. He plays at Providence Day, which has obviously been kind to Michigan. They were able to pull Channing Goodwin and Jaden Davis from there a couple of cycles ago. I think those connections are definitely helping Michigan in this race. I think the Wolverines are probably in that top 5 here, but I would be a little concerned about schools like Clemson and North Carolina and Georgia. The school's a little closer to home, but I think Michigan's done a really great job in this recruitment. He's been on campus multiple times already. Just a really loaded interior offensive line board for the Wolverines, and they already have Bear McWhorter committed, but I can say that Leo Delaney remains a priority on that board. So this visit weekend will definitely be crucial when it comes to his process. All right, let's flip over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about Jaziel Hart, who, again, I'm recording this on Tuesday. Hart is on campus today. I really like Jaziel Hart. I've talked about him a lot on this show. I think he is one of the most underrated recruits in the country. When you watch Jaziel Hart, he's an explosive two-way player that makes a ton of plays at wide receiver for his high school, Northcross in Roanoke, Virginia. But on the defensive side of the ball is where I like him the most. I really believe he would be a fantastic fit at Michigan as a nickel. I think he's a really versatile piece on the back end. You can definitely put him on the outside as a true corner, but even seeing him on 7-on-7, the way he performs when covering guys out of the slot, I think is really impressive. He has good speed. He's a track athlete. He's a basketball player. Just his movement is really impressive, and he still has a lot of upside. You know, he's good technically, but he can be even better. And I think that ceiling is something that's really, really exciting. I think you haven't even seen the best of Jaziel Hart yet. I think On3 did a fantastic job of ranking him in the top 300 early on. I think he'll continue to rise across the board, but stock up with Jaziel Hart. He's had a great offseason. In terms of where Michigan stands, they continue to be a major contender. Also a great kid. You know, we have an interview here on our YouTube channel with him. Just a magnetic personality, great leader, guy you want to talk to and interview, but also a guy that teammates want to rally around. He kind of fits that Michigan profile. Michigan and Penn State, you know, are the schools really high up there, with a handful of others definitely in the mix as well. All right, let's stick in the secondary and end it with Caden Hall. We haven't talked a lot about Caden Hall, but he's a bigger safety making his first visit to Michigan. He was actually supposed to be on campus in the fall for the game against Oregon, had his travel plans canceled. So he's finally making it to Michigan. But he's been a priority for the Wolverines for quite some time. Lamar Morgan has been leading the way in this recruitment. I actually had a chance to see him at the Future 50 camp last summer, and he's, you know, just a really impressive looking prospect. Again, the build really stands out at 6'3", 200. Michigan really in the market for a bigger safety. You know, they're going after guys like Jet Washington and Jordan Deck, Caden Hall in that same mold. I think Michigan has a chance to really move the needle on this visit. It'll be interesting to see where the Wolverines stand after he makes that first trip to Ann Arbor. So for more on all of these guys, post-visit, pre-visit, head over to thewolverine.com. Use that promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months. Get exclusive recruiting information, portal, spring football, everything you need. Get the latest intel over at thewolverine.com. Remember, guys, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. Make sure to get notifications every time we drop new videos. So again, like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.